Okay, so I've actually got very good news in today's video. So before this video starts off, you can probably read by the title. As you guys know, last week I had said that I would quit my job as a volunteer working with SEALs. I'm going to continue doing my job regardless, and I'm going to be explaining in this video why I changed my mind and why I'm going to continue working the job. So enjoy the video. Okay, so this is very cool. So yesterday I actually got a message or an email from my co-worker, and he said, "We are very sorry to hear what happened last week. If there's any way we could adapt and change the time for you, would you be still wanting to work with us? Because we know you love working with the animals. We can totally arrange something for like working hours." And I was like, okay, they've actually given me the opportunity to work on the same day if I can do that, if I want to, but different times. So instead of 8:30 to 1:30, I can do 1:30 to 6 o'clock at night, which is actually great because that's how I'm going to avoid the people that I work with normally. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. Yes, I'm definitely wanting to do that because, as you know, last week I had said that I was quite disappointed, man, because I just couldn't appreciate it. I had some comments saying, "You just can't accept criticism." Look, I don't mind. Anyone can have a criticism on me, but till an eventual point when someone keeps on continuously having criticism on you, whether it's positive or negative, it's going to be irritating and it's considered harassment. If someone keeps on harassing you every single time you do something at your work or do something outside, someone keeps on saying something about something, it's harassment at an eventual point because you're just literally harassing a person every time he does something, if it's good or wrong. So I can take criticism. It's just till an extended point I'm like, okay, enough is enough. You can stop it right now. You keep on harassing me every time when I do something. Stop it. I can't appreciate it. But I'm actually very glad because, as you know, last week I was just kind of full with emotions. I didn't know what to do because, as you know, I actually did not, well, I didn't think at all, but I actually didn't tell any of my colleagues that I had autism. So I decided in this email to say I am autistic and I see things quite different. I don't really approach people, don't talk to people quite often because it's very important to keep yourself open and honest when you do your job. And I just didn't do that in the beginning because I thought it was kind of irrelevant because it had nothing to do with my job, but it does, frankly. Because of my autism, I kind of think different and act different, especially when it's kind of like under pressure. But I was like, I want to continue working. But last week I was so full of goddamn emotions, and I was disappointed, as you guys could tell in the video. I was quite highly disappointed. I actually felt really hurt last week as well when I had gotten the news that I might as well quit at the job while I'm at it because I'm not doing my job correctly. As I've said, they show me how to do my job, and they'd also afterwards show me things I didn't even get taught in the beginning of my job. But regardless of that, you can see that video that I made last week, Monday, or on a Sunday. But I've gone and made the decision that I'm going to continue my volunteer work because I just love it, regardless of what happened last week. They've given me the actual opportunity to go and work on different hours, which is going to mean that I will be working most of the time, as I said in an email, on my own. I'm kind of hoping it is true, but even if it's not, it's cool having some other people because once in a while it's nice to switch it up. Because I actually used to work from Tuesday and Thursday, but I kind of want to switch it up to a Sunday evening now, which is great, fantastic, and I'm quite actually happy. No, it actually wasn't clickbait last week. I was very sad and just really hurt because I really wanted to mainly quit because of what happened and kept on happening every single time. But I was like, I can't just quit, man, because I really just truly do love the work that I do. I just can't see myself quitting because it's just something I love doing besides, doing YouTube full time. Like once or twice a week, I go to my job and I do it because of the animals. I gain experiences and that. As you guys know, I'm purposely chosen not to get a job that's going to pay me or a job that I can get offered to pay for. I got this job just because I want experience building up and don't really care about the money. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to. But I'm very glad, man. I'm so glad. I'm very grateful that they understood me in the email, and it's just very good to know that I'm going to be continue working there. Because as I said, last week was just quite a lot of emotions going through me. I just didn't know what to do, quite honestly, and I was just, to be quite fair, kind of disappointed in last week, as you guys could tell in the video, and quite hurt as well, deeply. Because I'm not just the type of person who gets hurt quite easy. When it comes to these type of things, I get hurt quite bad. So yeah, it does do something with me mentally. So the whole week I've been kind of just isolating myself a little bit from people because I kind of do that every day regardless. But I've just been doing my own thing the whole week, But I'm just very glad and grateful for the fact that they've given me, or they've actually offered me something in return that I can say, okay, yes, this is great. We can definitely try and arrange something. Yeah, definitely, that's cool. Because as I said, I just love doing what I do. I've been working there for quite a while, for like 4 or 5 months. But because of Corona, I haven't been able to work there for 2 months. So I was very glad when like 3-4 weeks ago I got the news of, okay, shit, I can work again. And that's awesome. But it was kind of nasty with the weather. The weather was disgusting, man. It was snowing and, ooh, man, it's cold. But I'm very glad, just full of emotions last week. That's the only thing I can kind of say. It wasn't no clickbait, it wasn't anything. It was just purely, I was very upset and quite sad, man. But I'm very glad your boy is going to continue doing his job. As y'all may have known or seen on my social medias, I'm not actually allowed to show anything on work, but I sometimes do because it's very interesting. You guys think it's very, very cool. And for you guys wondering, I actually will not be working next week because next week I'm at my brother's place for like Friday to Sunday. So I've decided to go and work the week after because that just comes out much better for me time-wise and stuff. And I'm very glad, man. I'm very glad. And because today wasn't the correct day because I had gotten the email yesterday, which would be too fast for me to go to work today. That'd just be kind of forced on me, and I didn't want to go today because of the fact that, well, I just couldn't be bothered, man, because I was tired yesterday and this. But yeah, I'm very glad. And thank you for the great support on the previous video about this last week. I'm just very glad, man, that I can do something that I can do besides YouTube that I'm very proud of doing. And it's very cool. It's a very cool job, for you guys wondering. It's quite a heavy job as well. Don't get fooled. You're probably thinking, well, SEALs, that's kind of easy, isn't it? No, it's a lot of work. It's quite a lot of work. It's actually also not just mentally, but it's also quite physical as well. You've got to go bend and duck, and that stuff hurts your back. It really messes you up quite bad. Because it's like the thing is, right, so if you've got this quarantine, you've got left side quarantine, which is basically let me explain. You've got outside quarantine, right? The old quarantine is when the new ones come in, you clean them, this and that. And then when you transfer them from old to the outside quarantine, that's when they have to go in for quarantine for 3 weeks. They've got to be, safely divided from each other with like a screen. Blah, blah, blah. You give them medicine, obviously. They've all got, not all of them have to get medicine, but a lot of them have to get medicine because of lungworms, which is a quite often thing occurred with seals. Lungworms are just kind of like insects, parasites that get into fishes or like any kind of bacteria, and they get into the lungs of the seals, and that's how quite a lot of seals actually don't survive in nature, because they get, actually in the Netherlands, they pass away because of those things. So we treat them with that, with like quite a lot of medicine. They've got to get medicine. Sometimes you've got to give them eye drops because they've got a scratch or parasite in the eye, which is quite dangerous. Sometimes you've got to actually remove the eye. It's quite sad, but it's what you've got to do to let it survive. You've got to do this kind of thing. And then we've got the outside bath, which is very, very cool. It's for when they are going to get released soon, and the ones that can swim, obviously, that are very good with swimming. You've got the inside, which you've got the right side quarantine. It's also kind of like the same as the left side. You've got them after quarantine, they can go in there. Like the youngsters often go in there. We take care of them, and I take care of the left side. Someone else is going to, if I'm correct, someone's going to do the right side for me. I could also do both, but it's quite a lot of work. So average when I get there, it's like at least 2 seals. You've always got like at least 1 seal there. You've always got a seal on left and right. Because we've always got seals coming in, but now it's quite chill, which is very, very good, actually. It's very good when there are not a lot of seals. That's a very good sign. That means that, I'm just going to give you a tip. If you ever see a seal on the beach, please do not go and approach it. You're not supposed to approach it. Please go away, stay away from it. Don't come too close, because human scent, don't specifically do not touch a goddamn seal, because you can chase it away from its parents, and the parents cannot accept it because it has been touched by something they don't. They don't appreciate it. And if you see a young little seal, you can obviously approach it just to see if it hasn't got any wounds on it, but don't go touching it or standing by it, because they are obviously wild animals. So don't go crying if you get bitten by one, because they are freaking wild. And that's the thing we do. We keep them for as long as we need to, so they can, regenerate, be strong. And if that's the case, we always set them free. Obviously, some of them, they can't make it. Some of them haven't made it, which is kind of sad, but it's, you've got to accept that it's reality. But what we do is we go and put them in a freezer, freeze them, and it just goes to a company and they burn it, kind of like into ashes. So yeah, it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. It's what you've got to do. You've got to accept the fact that can happen sometimes. We don't actually see what happens behind the scenes with those kind of things, which I'm quite glad, because I don't want to. But sometimes you've also got to have surgery on the space, which is very cool. A woman a couple of years ago donated quite a lot of money. I think 40-50 grand worth of equipment, because he was on a pension, and he was like, "Oh, let me just go and donate this money," which is very, very cool. So we've got our own like little SEAL clinic, which is very, very cool. I can maybe show you guys once. I've got no clue. Depends on if I've got to go and grab something there from the spot, obviously. But just to let you guys know, we do not actually get money by the government. We've actually got to get the money from funds from people. So the only way we actually survive is if we get donations by people, which is, kind of is what it is, I guess. So that, that's why with equipment, we're very, very careful with equipment. We don't just throw stuff away. I often go and recycle the same gloves, because, well, why would I have to change my gloves every once in a while if I can just spray with alcoholic disinfection, right? Which is kind of the same thing, right? But yeah, I'm very glad, man. I'm quite glad, to be fair, because I didn't want to quit this job in the first place, because it was just very cool. Because what else am I supposed to do, right? Just enjoy it, I suppose. But I'm going to end this video on the podcast channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very glad you guys are enjoying the videos. God damn, we got 3,000 followers. That is crazy. Oh, what can the Video King say? I'm the best podcast channel there is. No, I'm not. But thank you guys. It's very, very cool. I'm thinking of what kind of special video I could do for 3K. I've got no clue, man. But this is very, very cool. I'm very glad that I've got, the opportunity, and that they can adapt to my stuff, and that I can adapt to their changes, which is very, very cool. And obviously from my side, I've just got to be more social and just say, things that I can't appreciate, or just don't like, or just, just don't agree with in general. But I'm going to end this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. By the way, when you see this video, I've got a mukbang with my nephew coming out a couple of hours on Keegan's mukbang. So you want to go and check that out when it's online. And I've also got an ASMR video that I posted yesterday. And I've also got a new ASMR video coming out tomorrow. So you want to stay tuned for that. Come on, you've got to stay tuned. It's an awesome video. It's going to be very lit. And thank you so much for watching this video. And I'm glad to go back, man. See you later, man. Peace out.